3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you feel max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7. Okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear, 7. Cape is go. We're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78,100. Cabin pressure holding steady at 5.8. Amps is 2.6. All systems are go, indicating 6G. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7. You have a go with at least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit, and preparing to take xylostill at present time. This is Friendship 7. The head movements cause no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine. Reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
Don, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90,100, oxygen is 75,100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what would appear to be a haze layer, up some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side. The stars, I can see through it as they go down toward the real horizon, but it's a very visible single band or layer, pretty well above the normal horizon.
There we go. And my microphone was off. Welcome, guys. I just gave this whole intro spiel, only to realize that my microphone was off. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It is 7:51 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging... Oh, one sec.
The CW micro series a watch on the stream's recommendation. Made it about 6 chapters in, and it's just not my cup of tea. Hope you have a better experience. I'll rewatch Rebels.
Duke, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. Benjamin B coming in with the first channel support as well. Thank you guys so much. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give a little intro. Or what was I going to say? Shit. I can't remember. It's not important anyway. But welcome, guys. Probably about an hour hanging out tonight. Let's just shoot the shit. Talk Star Wars. Talk whatever you guys want. Talk food. These streams always seem to devolve or evolve to be a food discussion. I dig it. Benjamin B, Took, and Raptar. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Raptar. Man. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Benjamin B was first. He says, do you have any experience with sovereign citizens? I just discovered them on YouTube yesterday. I can't stop watching. Just a basic knowledge of I've seen a few videos that would probably fall under that category. They always seem like people that want you to think that they know more than they actually do. You know what I mean? They always seem like uber confrontational without actually flat out being confrontational. You know what I mean? Like they pretend. How do I put this? A lot of them, and sure, there are real like lawyers in that bunch, right? But for the most part, it seems like a bunch of people who are able to talk fast and play a confidence game, right? And are often like looking for confrontation while their camera is rolling. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, man. It's like, what, you're not going to talk to a cop? Cool. I understand that we have search and seizure laws, constitutional rights that protect our civil liberties. I'm 100% on board. But a lot of the times, these people come off as confrontational for the sake of being confrontational, right? But yeah, I really don't know too much about the entire movement, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Benjamin. There's a lot of rabbit holes you can go down, and beware of the YouTube the YouTube algorithm, because if you watch one of those videos, that's all you're gonna get recommended. You can't stop watching, Benjamin. And there's a reason behind that, because the YouTube gods are feeding you more of what you want to watch, and you've fallen down that rabbit hole. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Took17, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Took says, decided to try and give the Clone Wars micro series a watch on this stream's recommendation. Made it about 6 chapters in, and it's just not my cup of tea. Hope you have a better experience. I'll rewatch Rebels. What? I'm curious. How many are the episodes? Like 30 minutes long? If so, they can't be 30 minutes long. They have to be super short, because it's only 2 hours, right? If they were 30 minutes long, that would, 6 hours or 6 episodes would be over 2 hours. Interesting. I didn't really think of that. How many episodes or chapters or whatever they're called are there? So. Took here is talking about the 2003 Clone Wars, animated micro series. It's one that I have, I've been recommended so many times on this channel. I've never gotten around to watching it. And my plan was to, after watching season 7 of the Clone Wars, jumping into that 2003 animated series, that micro series. And that is still my plan, but it's a bummer to hear that, Took. A lot of people, for the most part, I've heard nothing but good things, but maybe I'll feel eye to eye. We'll see. The first set of chapters are like 4 minutes each. Gotcha. Okay. 5 minutes, 12 minutes for the last 5 episodes. Gotcha. I kind of like that. Almost like little YouTube clips before YouTube existed, right? Interesting. Now I'm excited to give it a watch. Like I said, man, it's been recommended to me so many times, and I'm curious how it'll, fit with, I don't know how it'll fit in my comparing it to the Clone Wars that I know and that I've watched is going to be unavoidable. But yeah, I'll judge it on its own merits, right? But anyway, Took, you have actually piqued my interest even more because I'm going to watch it. And obviously, I'm going to tell people if I like it or dislike it. I'm not going to play the game of just saying that I like it because a lot of people recommended it to me. I've done that before, and I kind of like being in the minority camp when it comes to opinions when it falls that way. But and sometimes it does. But I'm excited, Took. I'm excited, man. Anyway, I appreciate that. And Raptark, good to see ya. Hope you're doing well, man. It's been a while. Raptark says, screw it. It's still less than $1 USD. Hey, Greedo, a long time no chat here. Trying to survive quarantine. Improving drawing and writing. How about you? Nice. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going well. It's definitely been a while. Seen a few familiar faces pop up recently. I think it's because the Clone Wars bump. But it's good to see you as always, man. And I'm glad to hear that the drawing and the writing is improving. I hope you're still working on your fun stories. But yeah, so here, you probably haven't heard, but my wife is in the medical field, so for us, our schedules, our day to day hasn't really changed that much. My freelance gigs have pretty much dried up. I've had one in the past 2 months. And it was a really, really small gig compared to a lot of the stuff that I normally do. So other than that, man, it's kind of business as usual just because, our schedules have changed. So, it's a bummer that, a lot of places are still closed. That being said, most places I feel like are going to be opening up soon. The Jacksonville Zoo, and we're season pass holders to the zoo, is going to be opening up, I believe, Friday or maybe early next week. It's within a week or so, which kind of blew my mind. I didn't think it would open up, but it's a nonprofit and they need revenue. I get it. So it sounds like a lot of shit is opening up now, and I personally think it's probably premature. But we'll see. Anyway, I appreciate that, Raptark. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. And Benjamin B, Anton, Nathan, Luke, and Tryu, thank you guys so much. I ordered a Navy. Give me one sec, guys. I ordered a Navy poster, and it came the other day, and then I ordered a frame for it, like an old World War II recruitment poster. I need to hang it up behind me. And I ordered a frame, and the frame came from Target, and I was looking at it. I was like, what the fuck? This is obviously a repack, right? Like a repackage. There was no protective anything around it. Somebody just threw it in a giant box with some other shit. There was a crack going down the side.
I saw on Twitter from a source I have never heard of that Hayden may return to play Anakin. Will this news cause you to fall to the dark side of baseless speculation?
What's up, Vince? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. Give me one sec. But and there was a big nick in the corner, and there were some scratches on the front. And it's weird. I thought back, it is way more common for me to order a frame, whether it be a picture frame or a photo or a poster frame, and that frame be damaged. I don't know how often you guys have purchased frames and stuff like that online. I do it all the time. It's just convenient, and dude, so many times they come, especially from Amazon. I will never order another wood frame from Amazon. They always come fucking cracked in half. It's weird. It's like the postal service guys are just breaking frames with their feet. It's weird. But they were cool. I didn't even have to talk to anybody. I said this is damaged, and they're sending me a new one, and I don't have to send this one back. So I'm just gonna kind of paint the cracks and have another frame for free, basically. I I was just kind of excited that I'm a dad. The little things you get excited about, right? Benjamin B, thank you so much for the channel support. Star Wars challenge: if you were to compare the 9 episodes to meals, types of food, what would they be? Oh, this could be a long answer. Oh my God. So Benjamin B, I'm gonna go a little out of order here. I would say episode like 9 would be like a McDonald's, just McDonald's. Episode 9 would be McDonald's. It's you know, it's just a McDonald's meal. Just okay. I mean, it tastes good, I guess, but it makes you kind of feel like shit afterwards, and it leaves you hungry still. The prequels as a whole maybe would be like some of those, like if you got a hamburger with like a bunch of random shit on it, like a runny, well, it's all stuff that I like. I was gonna say like a really experimental hamburger that has a bunch like kimchi on it and a runny egg and just a bunch of shit on top of this hamburger, and all you really wanted was a nice cheeseburger, right? And then I don't know, like the originals, what would that be? The originals to me would be like a nice medium rare ribeye with a side of baked potatoes, and then The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens would be like the Spanish rice that my mom used to cook growing up. It's so familiar. God damn, it makes it feel like home, right? And then The Last Jedi to me would be like a fun, unique, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, man. Like a fun, unique food truck that does wacky ass tacos. All right? Does that suffice? Why not? Right? Cool. Anyway, I appreciate that, Ben. I dig that question, man. And Anton, thank you so much for the channel support, man. What's with the number title? Oh, I didn't know what that, dude. I that says hi in binary. I had no idea what the hell I was gonna name this stream. In the past, when I didn't know what to name the stream, I just named it like poop or something like that. I just decided to do hi in binary. No secret code. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I didn't want to just type, "Hey, let's talk Star Wars," or "hanging out for the thousandth I can't speak tonight, 1000th time." So I just did binary. Hi. Why not? Anyway, I appreciate that, Anton. And Nathan Pelka, good to see you, man. Nathan Pelka says, I finished Fallen Order, but back when the game launched, some idiot spoiled it on Twitter, and then a official ad spoiled Darth blank reveal. GG though. Yeah, Nathan, I had it spoiled for me as well. But I didn't have it spoiled for me on Twitter or anything like that. I had it spoiled for me on an official, I think it was, wow, when was it? It might have been, I was gonna say a Super Bowl commercial, but I don't think it was. It might have been a football playoff game, a commercial. I know for a fact it was a commercial a few weeks after the game came out. But yeah, that's how the game got spoiled for me. And it's such a small thing, right? To have spoiled, but it's one of the things that you want to be surprised by, right? And when I saw that spoiler, look, the game's been out for a while now. If you haven't played it, sorry, but you know, as Nathan said, a certain somebody pops up at the very, 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 very end of the game, like the final little bit of the game, and this commercial came on and it showed that person, and I was like, well, that's stupid. I'm still playing the game. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, EA marketing department and whoever else was involved with the marketing of this game? Why? I understand that this character is one of the most memorable and iconic Star Wars characters in the history of the franchise, or even science fiction, or even storytelling. But, hey, you're gonna sell games. You don't need to throw this character up there. Yeah, man, it's a bummer when that kind of thing happens. That's why, for the most part, whenever movies and shows especially come out, I usually take a hiatus from social media, which is good to do anyway, right? But games are, on the other hand, I've never really taken a hiatus because of games. I probably should, right? But it's not like it matters, because EA in the marketing department is going to spoil the end of the game anyway on a commercial during a football game, right? Anyway, Nathan, I appreciate that, man. And Luke Reese, thank you so much. Hey, wait, where did it go? Luke Reese says, hey, hope you're staying safe and healthy, man. What do you think about EA confirming that we'll be getting more Fallen Order games? Oh, did they? Did they really? When was that? Fallen Order, let's see. Big news, for EA announced big news for Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order update adds combat. There are more Star Wars Jedi games to come. 2 hours ago, Destructoid and Essentially Sports. Is that what that says? Never heard of either of these. An entirely new franchise. Where is this from? Let me read a little bit of this. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, Luke. I was not aware of this. Maybe it just happened 2 hours ago, apparently. This says, in yesterday's investors relations call, the CEO of EA addressed Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order by saying it's a rare achievement for a first title in an entirely new franchise. We'll say blah, 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 Fallen Order is broken, blah, blah, blah. As such, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was just the start of something new. We obviously don't know if the next game is a direct sequel to Fallen Order. Or something else would carry a brand. Whatever it is, it's clear Fallen Order convinced everyone that a single-player, narrative-driven Star Wars game can be commercially successful. That's an encouraging result. Interesting. Okay. So that's extremely exciting. I didn't see any kind of confirmation there. Free update released in November. Okay, well, given the user responding, we'll let the franchise die down. In fact, last December, fans noticed a job listing by an official word. Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense, right? Right, Luke? I mean, if it is confirmed, I have to read a little deeper into that, because the thing that I just saw didn't seem like an outright confirmation, but it makes complete sense. It is a game that you could have a lot of kind of stories branching off of. I mean, you don't even need to follow Cal. That could be the end of Cal's story. You could turn Jedi Fallen Order into a series of games that follows various Jedi around in various stories through various games, right? That would be pretty awesome, right? You could have Jedi Fallen Order, and then Jedi something. No, I love the idea, man. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It's probably my favorite single-player Star Wars game. I would welcome it. I would like, man. I loved how it was linear. It's good to have stuff like that from time to time. It was a very linear game with some exploratory elements. I love the combat system. That was such a perk. It kind of exceeded my expectations. And a sequel to that, thumbs up. Great. 100% on board. But I kind of want, I'm still holding out hope that there's going to be an open world Fallout style, Red Dead style Star Wars game. And if I got to choose, I think I would go with that. But yeah, anyway, Luke, it makes complete sense, right? Makes complete sense. But I appreciate that, man. And Tryu, thank you so much for the channel support. Oh no, I missed being I missed being early in a HelloGreedo live stream. How you been? Good, man. Good. Yeah. Do you get notifications, Tryu? I'm curious. Do people get notifications for these things? Because For the longest time, most people say they don't, but we'll see. Doing well, man. Yeah, yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. We made giant beef tacos, both hard shell and soft shells. We made we got some poblano peppers and hollowed them out. My wife stuffed them with cream cheese. They were good as shit. What else did we make? I made some guacamole. I make good guacamole. The trick is sour cream and some cayenne pepper in there. Yeah, made some homemade margaritas too. That was yesterday. My wife got off work early yesterday, so got home at like 1:30, and then we just kind of hung out, three of us, and it was a good day. But been doing well, man. Been doing well. Got notifications.
Hey, Greedo, did you
I saw it from notifications. Nice.
Oh,
one sec.
On Disney that was on the Mandalorian. It was really good, and I think you would like it.
Where the hell
Love the Clone Wars video you posted today also.
Bill, thank you so much, Bill. I greatly appreciate that, man. Give me 1 second. That for whatever reason that didn't pop up on my screen, and I was trying to figure out what the hell the robot was reading, Bill. But I greatly appreciate that, man. Give me 1 second. Give me one sec. Oh, 1 sec.
Going to order another copy for friends. Do you think you'll get the new Lego Star Wars?
Luke, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. I'm super long-winded this evening. I got Vince, Benjamin, Madman, Dylan, Brendan, Robin, Vince. Oh my God, I'm way behind. Raptark, Wolfman, Daniel, Anton, Bill, and Luke. All right, I'm like 15 minutes behind. Hang tight. I will talk as fast as I possibly can. But I appreciate that, man. Vince Wynn says, I saw on Twitter from a source I have never heard of that Hayden may return to play Anakin. Will this news cause you to fall to the dark side of baseless speculation? No, Vince. I don't play that game. There are so many people on YouTube that play that game that are batting nothing, that are batting a big fat goose egg, and despite getting a shitload of views, I would rather keep a little bit of integrity than just diarrheaing a bunch of shit on the internet forever and ever about baseless and fake rumors. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the fun in endlessly blowing smoke up every single rumor's ass. I don't get it. I do get it because it's a money game, right? The more bullshit you pump out, the more views you get, the more money you get. There's a reason that people, like, whenever the most inane, nonsensical, unverified rumor comes out, there is a reason that a certain segment of creators latch onto it and pump up the rumor despite zero evidence, right? It's money. Money. So yeah. Fuck all that. If it's true, it's true. Cool. I'm on board. But I'm not gonna play the endless rumor machine game of whack-a-mole. I prefer people with integrity. So that's it. Anyway, Vince, no. But I appreciate that, man.
Also, Greedo, I really like your book too. And I really want an open-world Red Dead Redemption type Star Wars video game too.
Holy hell, man! Absolutely, that's my dream Star Wars game right now, Bill. Give me 1 sec. God, I'm super thirsty. We had leftover tacos tonight too, so super thirsty. Benjamin Shore, thank you so much. Benjamin says, "Hey man, love your stuff, and glad I'm here for a live stream. Tuning in from Canada. Hope you are all doing well in the States. Stay safe." Yeah, I hope you're doing well up there too, man. I don't know the circumstances up there. I don't know if provinces are or if it's I have no idea what you guys are doing up there to combat this thing. I guess we're all kind of living in our own world right now, right? But yeah, it's a little weird down here. Every state seems to be kind of on its own plan, which I think maybe in the long run will work out. Who the hell knows? But it seems like a lot of things are opening prematurely. If you look at events from the past and how, societies were opened up prematurely. Yeah, man, I don't know. Well, we're all right. We're all right down here, Ben. We're all right. But welcome to the live stream, man. I greatly appreciate that. And hope you're doing well up in the old Canada, too. Canada, too. But I appreciate that, Ben. Stay safe as well. And Madman's Knowledge, I just finished the Clone Wars finale plus Revenge of the Sith fan edit. Can I send you a link to it in Twitter DMs once it's ready to share? Madman's. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Twitter DMs probably not. I would shoot it to me in an email. If you go to my website, HelloGreedo.com, or if you go to my YouTube about section, my email should be there. But it's info@HelloGreedo.com. Just type it in and send me it that way. Send me a link to it that way, and I would love to check it out. But I love the idea, man. I'm sure you're not the only one that that is putting together that edit, and I would love to see it. But yeah, and if you want to, just shoot it to me on Twitter as a regular tweet. Tag me in it. I'll check it out. But I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. And Dylan Block, thank you so much for the channel support. You excited for C2020 F8 Swan? I don't know what the hell that is. C2020 F8 Swan. I gotta look this up. Is this some kind of thing that I should know? F8. Oh, a comet swan is discovered. Comet is discovered. Swan camera aboard a solar heliospheric observer spacecraft. Comet Swan has been dimming a little bit since May 3rd through its still near range of naked eye visibility. This is the first I've heard of this. Let me see. Simplified as right now, sky with respect to the brightest star constellations. Is this current position right now? The online planetarium, online planetarium. Sorry, guys. Live tracker. Is now visible 2 days ago. Could be the best in years. Oh shit, man. Okay, I actually have. Let me see if there's a way to pinpoint my location. Okay, I did not know this was up and visible. I'm gonna check it out. I have what is this app called? Stellarium? Is that what it is? Where is it? Where did it go? Stellarium. Yeah, I have an app that shows me all that kind of stuff. I also have the International Space Station. I wonder if the International Space Station is tracking it, like the app, the Spot the Station app. But no, I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. Hopefully, I don't know when it will be visible in my neck of the woods. It would be awesome if it was visible early in the morning, because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning every morning, and I go for a run, a 4-mile run at that time, and it's pitch black, and I can see a faint glow of the Milky Way in the sky as I'm running that early. It's not the greatest because there are streetlights in my neighborhood, but my neighborhood is kind of out in the boonies, so interesting. But no, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Dylan. I'm gonna keep this up on my screen and investigate a little bit more into it, and yeah, love it. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Brendan, Brendan Bellman, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. I hope you're doing well. Thoughts on the Fandom Menace or G&G? I'm not a big fan of groups in general, so like I understand that. How do I put this? I've talked about this quite a bit. I don't like the idea of getting into ideological groups. It's the same thing as like Raylos, right? I have no fucking interest in calling myself a Raylo. In the same exact breath, I have no interest in saying that I'm a part of a Fandom Menace or a group. Zero desire. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a fan of shit. I don't have to join a clique, right? Especially because when you join an ideological group, oftentimes, and this isn't just about the Phantom Menace, this is about all groups, ideological groups. Oftentimes, the ideological groups, the way it's perceived by outsiders is based off of the most negative aspects of that group, right? So while not everybody is an asshole, there's some assholes that are the most vocal. So everybody looks at them and says that is what that group is, right? So it's I don't get it. I don't understand why people want to. I mean, I get it from like a tribal perspective. People like to have, be surrounded by like-minded individuals and yeah. But the guy who runs the thing, he's tweeted to me like the most bullshit of bullshit stuff. He said that I thought he was like racist and sexist. And if you guys have ever watched my videos or tuned into my live streams, I've told people not to call people racist and sexist because that is cop-out bullshit verbiage. You can't run around calling everybody that. I've actually defended them against that stuff. I just find him to be I don't know, quite the reactionary dude. But he's doing his thing. I just whatever. Big shrug of the shoulders. He tries to get under people's skin, as you've seen countless times. I don't have time for bullshit like that. So yeah, whatever, man. It all just boils down to me not understanding why people need or feel the desire to be a part of ideological groups, especially when it comes to like science fiction or movies or comics. Like, cool, you're a part of a group. Neato, I was a part of a club too. I don't know, man. Whatever. Be your own person. Think your own thoughts. Robin, thank you so much for the channel support. Sup? Virus has been a blessing personally. My band has written enough material for...
Oh, 1 sec. When you decided to give CW a chance in 2017, always knew you'd love the clones. They have become one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars, and the tragedy of Order 66 hit me hard. Unwilling pawns.
Dylan, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Give me 1 sec. I'm pretty long-winded. I got Robin. I got Vince. I got Raptark. I got Wolfman. I got Daniel. I got Anton. I got Bill. I got Luke. I got Bill. I got Ewan. And I got Dylan. I appreciate the support this evening, guys. And I apologize for being super long-winded. But I will absolutely get to you. Robin says, personally, my band has written enough material for 2 albums and 1 EP. Nice. Did some woodworking and made a pick guard for my guitar. Yeah, it's interesting how certain people are taking or how they are utilizing, I guess is the right word to use, utilizing the quarantine or the inability to go places, right? Some people are learning a craft. Some people are getting in shape. Some people are writing songs and making EPs and albums. So that's really cool to hear that, when you're stuck in situations like this, and you got nowhere else to go, you got nowhere else to be, you make the best of it, right? It's very tempting to just fuck off and sit down and do nothing and endlessly scroll through your phone. Or you could, I don't know, you could do something, you could learn something. You don't need to argue with everybody on the internet all day, right? A lot of fun and interesting things to look up and research and learn or make, right? So that's awesome, man. Robin, that's really cool. Enough material for 2 albums and an EP. Why not use this time? I'm curious, Robin, did you make stuff like in person? Did you go together with in person and write the music, or did you like do it over Zoom or whatever? I'm curious, but that's awesome, man. Make the best of it. Make the best of it. But I appreciate that channel support. And Vince Wynn says the Force Awakens equals Domino's, TLJ equals Papa John's, The Rise of Skywalker equals Little Caesars. So in terms of, let's see, out of those 3 choices, my favorite, so you got Domino's, Papa John's, and Little Caesars. So this is the sequel trilogy here, Vince. My favorite out of those three is Domino's. My second favorite, I'm not a fan of Papa John's. Not a fan of Papa John's. Their garlic sauce or whatever it is good. But their pizza is meh. So for me, The Force Awakens would be Little Caesars. Domino's would be The Last Jedi, and Papa John's would be The Rise of Skywalker. So anyway, I appreciate it, man. If I'm going like just pure bullshit fast food, whatever pizza, I'm going Pizza Hut. In terms of just like the big chains, Pizza Hut's my favorite. I like their I don't even know what it's called. You pay $1 extra for this certain kind of crust, and it's worth it. It's like original pan something pizza. I don't know, but it's $1 extra. I don't know. That's my favorite. But yeah. Anyway. See, Papa John's is divisive. There you go. That's true. I see what you're saying. It's not about my personal preference. I see what you're saying. I get it. And Raptark, thank you so much once again, man. Disney Plus is maybe coming to Argentina by end of 2020. Guess I'm running the risk of spoiling myself the last Clone Wars season by watching your streams now. Yeah. I mean, basically, Raptark. You know what happens, right? Sure, there's little details here and there. But big picture, you know what happens, basically. So, if you're worried about being spoiled, or if you want to like absolutely know nothing of what happens, yeah, steer clear for sure. Play it safe. But yeah, there's always ways to watch it. If you want to watch the Clone Wars and you don't have access to Disney Plus, do some Googling. You can find a place to watch it. And I wouldn't blame you if you found a place to watch it, because it's oh, one sec. I got a text. What is going on? Hold on. Sorry. Oh my god. We're on for tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's places to watch, and I wouldn't blame you, because Disney Plus is not available all around the globe yet, and this is kind of the first time, including The Mandalorian, where a piece of Star Wars comes out and the whole globe can't enjoy it together, you know. We need to make that happen. Ridiculous. But anyway, Raptark, good to see you, man. And thank you so much for the channel support. And Mr. Wolfman, which three real life empires fascinates you the most? The Ottoman, the Japanese, and the Umayyad? I don't know if I know what that is. I am way too I don't know much about any of these. I don't honestly, I don't really know like the extent of my knowledge of a lot of the Empire stuff. Do you know what it is? Age of Empires. I don't know, man. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I am a complete dolt. I don't know much about any of that, which is a shame, right? The Ottoman Empire, founded 1299. That's what's really fascinating to me. You know, my side of the globe is super young. And you look at a lot of other nations or cultures or empires of history in just thousands of years. And we over here in the States are babies on the world stage, right? Babies on the world stage. It's really interesting. So, yeah, Wolfman, I personally don't have any fascination for any of them. I'm sure if I did some research and I went down a rabbit hole of information and whatnot and looked at the map and the territory gained, I would, I'd be interested. But yeah, I really don't know much of anything, to tell you the truth. It is a topic that has completely passed me by, and I don't remember learning about any of it in school, which is a shame, right? But there's a lot to learn. Anyway, I appreciate that, Wolfman. I wish I had more to say. And Daniel Orton, thank you so much as well, man. Hi from England. Hope you're keeping well. Thank you for the content. I've been listening to lots of Star Wars music recently. Got any favorite tracks? I would say my favorite track, Daniel, is his Binary Sunset. It's really, it's way too difficult for me to pick. You know, it's one of those like, it's just one of those questions that is so difficult to answer because, you know, you might have a favorite piece of music that goes with a different, or a favorite scene that has a piece of music, and you think about that scene, and you think about the music, and you go, oh, that's my favorite. But then you think about another piece of music that ties into another scene, and you go, oh, but I like that scene a little bit more. You know what I mean? So it's so difficult for me to pick a favorite. I love Throne Room. So maybe Binary Sunset and the Throne Room. Those two, pieces of Star Wars music might be my favorite. And Rey's theme is up there too, man. The first time that I heard it, it was kind of, it reminded me, I had kind of the same feeling when I heard Rey's theme as I did with Duel of the Fates in the theater when I saw The Phantom Menace in '99. It was like, the same kind of like, oh my God, this just sounds great. It fits so well. But yeah, so probably Binary Sunset and the Throne Room theme. So anyway, I appreciate that, Daniel, and enjoy the Star Wars music, man. Enjoy it. And tell England I said hello. And Daniel Ambrose, thank you so much. Seer from Fallen Order is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated characters in the franchise. I love her arc. All the characters in Jedi Fallen Order were great. Seer was interesting because she was hiding something too, and basically the whole time, and she was a good character. To tell you the truth, Daniel, I really, really want to replay the game and digest the story even more. I played the entire game on a stream, and I while I did, whenever there was story beats, I didn't talk on the mic. I paid attention to the story. I still feel like I missed a little bit just because I was streaming. I don't know if other streamers have that issue, or because if I'm playing a narrative-driven game on a live stream, I have a hard time focusing on the story because I'm always focusing on the chat. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Seer was a good character. All the characters meshed so well. Grease, was that his name? Cal, and who was the Night Sister Witch? What was her name? She was a good character too. It was such a unique bunch from all different walks of life, right? And it was kind of fun to see them all come together. It was like a ragtag group of very different folks. But anyway, I agree, man. I appreciate that, Daniel. And Anton, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Are you going back to Rebels now that Clone Wars has ended? One sec. So, am I going to go back to Rebels, Anton? Oh, Marin, that's right. Marin, thank you guys. Am I going to go back to Rebels, Anton asks. That is my plan. I don't know when I'm going to, make the move and start watching them and just kind of knocking them out. At the moment, I'm definitely going to watch the 2003, animated Clone Wars micro series. That's what I'm going to be doing next. Just because so many people have recommended that to me over the years, for a decade almost. And yeah, so eventually. I don't know how I'm going to do Rebel reviews either. I'm probably going to end up doing season reviews when I do go back to it. I don't think I'm going to do every single episode review. Or I might just watch the entire show, and then do like a series recap and just review video, you know. But yes, eventually, Anton, that will happen. But I appreciate that, man. And Bill Moiner, thank you so much for the channel support. I appreciate the patience, everybody. Bill says, hey, Greedo, did you watch the behind-the-scenes series on Disney Plus that was on The Mandalorian? It was really good, and I think you would like it. Love the Clone Wars video you posted today also. Well, thank you so much, Bill. So, I started watching it. When was that? It was yesterday. I was grilling corn. That's what I was doing. I was grilling corn, you know, it'd take like 15 minutes on the grill. And I turned it on as I was grilling corn. I had the back door open, the sliding glass door, and I had it on for maybe 5 minutes. I didn't watch enough of it. I didn't watch it in its entirety. I only got to the point where, like, God, I don't even remember. So no, I have not seen it yet. But I did start watching it because I was excited to see it. I just haven't had time to fire it up yet. So eventually I'll get around to it. I love behind the scenes stuff. I've said it before, like I never skipped the Leonard Maltin interviews on the VHSs back in the day. Love me some behind the scenes movie magic, and watching that will be a joy. But I appreciate the support this evening, man. And I'm glad you liked that video. So, yeah, whenever I do get around to watching it, which hopefully will be soon, maybe we can talk about it in a live stream sometime. But I appreciate that, man. Well, how many episodes are in each season of Rebels? Like, I've seen the first season of Rebels. But yeah. Luke Davis, thank you so much as well, man. Luke says, love your book. Going to order another copy for friends. Do you think you'll get the new Lego Star Wars? Well, first of all, thank you so much for the channel support. Not only that, thank you so much for picking up the book, man. That's so awesome to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, it's, as you know, it's a pretty personal book. I go into detail about life and my experience as a dad and the Navy and just a lot of stuff. And it's all over the place, and it was a blast to write, and I'm glad a lot of people are enjoying it. So that's too cool to hear that you're getting some copies for friends, man. That's ridiculous. That's so crazy. But thank you so much, man. And yes, the short answer is yes, I will be getting the new Lego Star Wars game whenever it comes out. I really don't know. I have no idea when it comes out. But yeah, I'm planning on getting it. Hopefully, maybe there's an answer to this. But is there co-op like multiplayer? If there's co-op multiplayer, I would love to. I would like it even more because I would actually have people to help me because I suck so bad at those games, which is crazy. But yeah, so yes, I will be playing the new Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga. But yeah, when does it come out? Anybody know? Is there a date? I have no idea. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And is there co-op? When is it coming out, and is there co-op? I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. Bill, once again, Bill, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. Also, Greedo, I really like your book too, and I really want an open world Red Dead Redemption type Star Wars video game. Well, dude, thank you so much for the kind words. I greatly appreciate that. Let me find a link to it if anybody.
I haven't seen CW,
one
and
sec.
I am nervous too. How do we grapple with CW being canon if Anakin is well written and acted in the show, but then he is to go on to do all the same things so poorly as EP3?
One sec, guys. One sec. I apologize. I'm finding a link here. Nice. All right. Here's wait, is this gonna work? I'm trying to. Why can't I get an accurate link to this? Damn. Okay. Here we go. There's a link to the book. Check it out if you want to, or not. Either way, I appreciate it. Ben, thank you so much, man. Give me 1 sec. Once again, give me 1 sec. But yeah, Bill, thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad you dig it. It was nerve-wracking putting out for sure. I need to finish the audiobook, and I need to finish the Kindle edition. So hopefully in the next few months, we shall see. But Bill said, I really want an open world Red Dead Redemption type Star Wars video game too. Me too. That has been my dream Star Wars game for a while now. The more I play like a Fallout, the more I play like a Red Dead or a Skyrim, I just feel like Star Wars is kind of the perfect setting for a very open world. I mean, dude, just the idea of having the scale and scope and depth of a Red Dead Redemption 2 game, but the Star Wars universe. I mean, that idea alone, I don't understand how developer, like EA is not, but maybe they are, but I don't understand how just that concept, that idea, how that's not just an immediate like green lighting. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love it. I want that game. Star Wars is a big sandbox to me, and the idea of playing like a sandboxy Red Dead Redemption, open world, do whatever you want type of Star Wars game, it needs to happen. I want it so bad. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. Here we go. Ewan Oliver, thank you so much for the channel support. I greatly appreciate this. This is Ewan says, hope you're well, Greedo. I am. Appreciate the well wishes. Soft or hard shell tacos? So, Ewan, this is tough. It shouldn't be, but it is. I feel like, well, first of all, if I'm going hard shell, I prefer corn. If I'm going soft shell, I prefer corn tortillas. To the flour tortillas. I like the taste of corn tortillas better. You throw them on a flat top for a few seconds on high. You get them a little cooked a little bit, not too much. Anyway, man. But then again, a good hard shell taco where the beef has been like sitting in the bottom of that hard shell taco, and it's kind of made that bottom layer of that hard shell kind of a little moist. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're gonna have we're having a taco conversation this evening. But Ewan, why not have both? That's what I did tonight. I had 2 soft shell tacos and 2 hard shell tacos. That was my all homemade. Threw some tomato paste in that ground round. Made some guacamole, a little dash of sour cream, hollowed out an avocado, mash it up, dash of sour cream, decent amount of cayenne pepper, put some onions in there, tomato in there, and some garlic salt. Delicious. Poblano pepper, hollowed out, stuffed with cream cheese, a little bit of cheddar. Oh goodness gracious. But Ewan, if I had to pick, I usually go soft shell corn tortilla. But yeah, anyway, Ewan, I appreciate that, man. And Dylan Compton, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. I remember being thrilled when you decided to give Clone...
Greedo,
1 sec.
What was your opinion on the end of Trust? Personally, I really like that Rey took up the Skywalker name, but hey, what is your opinion on the sequel trilogy overall?
The Kami Killer, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this evening. Greatly appreciate that, man. Give me 1 sec. I am a little behind. I got Dylan, I got Tom, I got Anton, I got Benjamin, I got Thomas, and I got Kami Killer. Alright, cool. Dylan Compton says, I remember being thrilled when you decided... Well, first of all, Dylan, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support, man. Cheers. I can't say thank you enough. Dylan says, I remember being thrilled when you decided to give Clone Wars a chance in 2017. Always knew you'd love the clones. They have become one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars, and the tragedy of Order 66 hit me hard. Unwilling pawns indeed. So first of all, I didn't really expect to like the show as much as I did. Because my opinion of the show, before I watched it, obviously came from a place of ignorance. Like, it's kind of interesting, Dylan. I have a vivid memory of doing a live stream and having like a discussion, and someone asking me about like the Night Sister witches, right? And I don't remember what my answer was, but I basically was like, yeah, the idea sounds weird, witches, blah blah blah. My reasoning and my knee-jerk reaction to something I knew nothing about came from complete ignorance, right? So it's interesting, but jumping into the show was such a fun experience because I enjoyed going through it after everybody else had gone through it, because I was experiencing it for the first time and everybody else was kind of like watching me and experiencing it again through my eyes. So, which is always fun to see, right? When somebody watches like your favorite movie or reads your favorite book or watches your favorite show, you want to be like, what'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? But yeah, it's been a fun ride. And you mentioned the clones, me loving the clones. It's true, which I didn't expect that going into the show. I had no idea. I had no idea before I started watching the Clone Wars that the clones would be as humanized as they are, as individualized as they are, right? They are. I just kind of expected them to be masked, helmeted, mindless, cannon fodder for Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka to kind of run around and do their thing. The opposite, it couldn't have been truer. And it's one of my favorite aspects of the show. The brotherhood that we see. It was just really interesting to like go from a complete place of ignorance and knowing nothing about this show, and then jumping into the show and being like, whoa, this is way different than I expected. But anyway, Dylan, love it. I'm glad. Maybe you enjoyed the series again through my eyes. Who knows? But dude, once again, Dylan, I greatly appreciate the hell out of that channel support this evening. The channel survives because of you. And I hope you're having a good one, man. And Tom Gross says, do you have interest in reviewing Rebels episodes? Yes, yeah. I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, Tom, but as of right now, my plan is to watch the 2003 Clone Wars micro series. And eventually I'll get around to watching Rebels. I don't know when. It might be months from now. And I don't know how I'm going to do the videos on that. I might end up just binging the show, having a couple episodes on during the day when me and my daughter are playing, and just kind of watching it out of the corner of my eye. Because nowadays, if I'm going to binge a show like Rebels, that's kind of how I have to. It's not like the Clone... I mean, like, you guys... If you followed my Clone Wars videos, right, there was a certain point as my daughter got older and older and older where she started crawling, she started walking, and she wasn't just a baby that laid on the ground anymore. There came a certain point where my Clone Wars videos were like super spaced out. And I have a feeling I'm just going to have to like run through Rebels really quick and absorb as much as I can. But yes, Tom, eventually. I appreciate that, man. And Anton, once again, thank you so much. What's your favorite non-Star Wars video game? Ooh, okay, this is a good question. Anton, my favorite non-Star Wars video game. And there's multiple categories here. Maybe that's a cop-out, but I can't just pick one. I have a couple all-time favorite games. One is Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 was such a game changer to me, man. I remember, getting Half-Life 2 for the first time and playing it, and that was one of the most like mind-blowing shift in graphics that I had ever seen. I remember like looking at the water effects and just being completely blown away by all of it. Crazy to think back about, think back on that show or that game. But yeah, man, Half-Life 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. And then there's an MMO called Ultima Online. That's one of my favorite games of all time too. And then, I'm honestly going to throw my hat in for Red Dead Redemption 2. I am never tired of that game. I mean, on the weekends, you guys know I wake up at 4:30 every morning, but even on the weekends, I find myself waking up at 5 or 5:30. It's not like I set an alarm on the weekends, but I just do. Creature of habit. And I end up playing like 2 hours of Red Dead before my family wakes up. My daughter usually wakes up around 7:30 or so, or 7. But sometimes lately she's been waking up at like 6. But so yeah, I would say those three maybe at the top of my list: Half-Life 2, Ultima Online, and Red Dead for non-Star Wars games. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Benjamin B, once again, thank you so much for the channel support. Benjamin B says, I haven't seen Clone Wars, and I am nervous to. How do we grapple with Clone Wars being canon if Anakin is well written and acted in the show, but then he is to go on to do all the same things so poorly as Episode 3? If Anakin is well written and acted in the show. Well, it is kind of interesting, right? It is, but I kind of I separate the two, but I separate the two on those merits, like acting and voice and all that portrayal and all that stuff. And I just look at the character, like the character decisions, the narrative decisions, what's going on, right? No reason to. Trust me. Like, it will only... if you watch the Clone Wars, Ben, it will only enhance the prequels. It will not detract from the prequels. I personally don't think. Maybe in a way you would be like, oh, this is what the prequels could have been like, but maybe that's the only detraction. Maybe that. But that's not, you don't want to play the game of what ifs, right? That's a rabbit hole you never want to go down. But watch it, man. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. There's no reason to be nervous. There's no reason to I mean, you could jump into the Clone Wars and try to like Men in Black mind erase your memory of the prequels and just absorb the Clone Wars as its own thing if you really wanted to, but yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, man. If you don't want to run through all 120 plus episodes or however many there are, maybe like 140, I don't even know. There are some like essential episode lists out there, and I don't think anybody would fault you for just watching those. I get it. Time is limited. And watching dude, it took me 2.5 years to watch watch the Clone Wars. 6 seasons. Took me 2.5 years. Just slow, just slow and steady. But yeah. Anyway, Ben, I appreciate it. Get on it. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. At least give it a chance. And it's just like any other show, Ben, or a lot of shows. Certain arcs, certain episodes do not reflect the overall tone and quality of the show. So, if you see one that you don't like, there's one on the horizon that you will. Guarantee it. But I appreciate it, man. And Thomas L., thank you so much for the channel support as well. Could you post a video on your thoughts of the Micro series? I think it would be cool to see what you think of it after the Clone Wars, because I watched the Micro series first. Oh, interesting. Anyways, thanks for everything. So, yeah, Thomas, first of all, thank you so much for the channel support, the kind words. I really appreciate it, man. Yes, there is no question in my mind when I'm done watching that Micro series, I'm going to do a video on it. I don't think I'm going to do individual episode videos. I don't want to do that. Some people said some of the episodes are like 5 minutes long. I'm not going to pump out I'm not going to pump out a ton of videos about it. I'm just going to do I'm going to watch the entire micro series and do a video on it. So, yes. Long story short, yes, I absolutely will be doing a video on the micro series when I get around to watching it. And that's really interesting to me that you watch the micro series first. And I would suspect that a lot of people, that was the case. If you were alive back then, I mean, I would suspect a lot of people watched the 2003 micro series first. But there's all sorts of ways to digest Star Wars, right? Sometimes you'll watch the prequels first before you watch the OT. I'm sure a lot of people did that. Some people nowadays will watch the sequel trilogy. I'm sure there's a lot of kids that watch the sequel trilogy first, right? Makes sense. You want to go see a Star Wars movie in the theater. Maybe it's your first one. Maybe your parents are taking you because they're super excited too. And sometimes you see the Clone Wars first. And sometimes you see the micro series first. Sometimes you see Rebels first. There's a lot of entry points to the franchise. And it's kind of fun to see all the different ways that people absorb it first, you know. I'm not rigid in my you just watch Star Wars, man, right? You know. There's a lot of it out there, a lot of different takes, a lot of different types of Star Wars. There's no one way to absorb it. But anyway, I appreciate that, Thomas. I was 2 in 03. Jesus, I was in 03, I would have been I'm thinking of I would have been 17 in 03. So. That's not right. Well, it depends on what year, what month you're talking about. 17 or 18. Yeah. 17 or 18. But yeah, anyway. And the Kami Killer. Thank you so much for the channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Greedo, what was your opinion on the end of The Rise of Skywalker? Personally, I really like that Rey took up the Skywalker name, but hey, that's just me. Also, what is your opinion on the sequel trilogy overall? So, the end of The Rise of Skywalker, is specifically that moment, Rey taking up the Skywalker name. I liked it. That's, you know, I didn't really care for the movie overall, but that is something that I liked. Going into, you know, right when we found out about the name, you know, The Rise of Skywalker, that was going to be the title of the movie. Me and a shitload of people online speculated all at the same time that Skywalker would be the new name of like an organization or a new moniker, or the new title. Instead of Jedi, people would be known as Skywalkers. We were kind of wrong, but in a way, kind of right, because Rey took up the name Skywalker. I like that. I didn't think it was cheesy. I haven't heard any complaints about it. I'm sure people are complaining about it, but I liked it. It was a nice little nod. But overall, the Rise of Skywalker just was nothing. I didn't really care for it at all. I mean, the stuff. The only stuff that I really liked was the relationship between Ben and Rey. That was interesting to me. That I felt that was like a good continuation. That was a good continuation from the way their relationship was handled in The Last Jedi. It felt natural. But if we're talking about the ending of The Rise of Skywalker, I mean, my biggest issue with the movie is Palpatine being back, right? Just everything. Whenever I think of anything in that movie, the ending. Palpatine was back. That's right. He shot blue lightning into space and made all the spaceships not be able to fly. That's right. But yeah, man. It's my overall thoughts on the sequel trilogy. I do like it. That's interesting. The Rise of Skywalker is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are among some of my favorites. My actual order goes A New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, in that order. So they're in the 4th and 5th position. And then you have, The Rise of Skywalker coming in really low on that list. And it's fine, you're not gonna like them all. You know, I watched the prequels in the theaters, and yeah. So batting 2 out of 3 for sequel trilogy for me. It's okay, you know. I really liked the Force Awakens was such a jolt of hey, we're back, here we go, let's do this. The Last Jedi was full of surprises in what I want in a Star Wars movie. I thought it, you know, brought up interesting concepts, new ideas, and that's what I like in Star Wars. I don't want Star Wars to be formulaic and repetitive and predictable. And to me, The Rise of Skywalker was all that. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Anton, once again, thank you so much for the channel support, man. Anton says, yes, there's co-op in every LEGO game, and there's no release date for it yet. Okay. Oh, well, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. But let me see. Does that, Anton, I'm going to have to look this up. Does that mean, I'm thinking, like online co-op. I know, like Lego Star Wars, the complete saga doesn't have online co-op. The Force Awakens, I believe, did not either. I don't know if any Lego Star Wars game has online co-op. Does it? I know they have like couch co-op. I know they have, like, you know, local multiplayer co-op. But does it have online co-op? I'm gonna have. Let's see. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga online co-op. Let's see. Core features, local co-op, online co-op not supported, it says. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga does have online co-op. It does? I played it like a month ago. It really does? I don't think online co-op is a thing. Ah, that's a bummer, Anton. That's a bummer. Oh, well. Maybe one day. Why wouldn't that be a thing? Like, wouldn't that be fun? Isn't that what people want? People love playing online games with their friends, right? The Complete Saga on Xbox has online co-op. Okay, I play on the PC, so maybe that's the hiccup there. But anyway, I appreciate that, Anton. And Wolfman, Bill, Wolfman, Elijah, Voice of Reason, and I can't afford Doom Eternal, and I'm sad. Thank you guys so much for the channel support, guys. Appreciate the patience. Wolfman says, I didn't ask for which empires fascinates you the most among those three. Which are my favorites? I'm asking you for yours. Don't say French Empire. I'll blush. Well, it's out of those three. It really doesn't matter because I'm pretty ignorant on most world history when it comes to like long ruling empires, and most of my knowledge of the world's empires comes from movies. So maybe I do have a little bit of a fascination for like the Roman Empire, and that stems from like the movie Spartacus that I used to watch as a kid all the time, directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Kirk Douglas, and Gladiator. I watched Gladiator in the movie theater like the week it came out. Couldn't get enough. Maximus. My Ultima Online character was even named Maximus after I saw that movie. I created a new character named Maximus. There were a lot of Maximuses running around that day. But yeah, man, Wolfman, probably the Roman Empire, based on nothing more than just a very basic knowledge from film and maybe a little bit of documentary at some point. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Bill Miner, thank you so much as well. One thing that the 2003 Clone Wars series did was make General Grievous a really major threat. Also, the style of the series was really awesome too. So, that's good. That's definitely good to hear. I do feel like, and I've said this I've used this verbiage many times in the past 2 years of me making Clone Wars videos, but the Clone Wars, the 2008 series, always felt like the villains. It was kind of like they would always escape at the last second, and it just kind of like, we'll get you next week, right? Next episode, we'll get you. So it's good to hear that there's some kind of threat. There's a menacing threat in General Grievous in the 2003 Clone Wars series. Maybe that would be my one complaint. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever... I would say that any villain... Vader always was menacing.
Hey Greedo, did you ever play the video game Star Wars Republic Commando? If so, what did you think of it? If not, then I recommend it to you, especially since you like Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Bill, once again, thank you so much for the channel support. Sorry, man. I was texting my buddy. Bill, I guess they want to have a Zoom call tomorrow. All my old friends who I get together with quite a bit. But Bill, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. You asked me, oh, you were talking about Grievous. That's good to hear, man. Like, cause a lot of Star Wars villains, do you feel that they're menacing? I think Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi was pretty menacing. He's got a temper. You don't know where his heart is, and he doesn't even know where his heart is, right? Darth Vader obviously is a menacing villain. I feel any kind of menacing threat from Maul? Maybe because he looks creepy. Do I feel any menacing threat from Palpatine? No. In the prequels, I don't. As a manipulator, it's kind of interesting, but I don't feel like... I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to jump in, Bill. I appreciate that, man. And Wolfman, ever played Spartan Total Warrior? Great game. Let me look this up. Spartan...
CW began when I was 12. Briefly loved it but grew out of it in high school and developed hot tunnel vision. Years later I was hesitantly convinced to revisit it as an adult. Finished it in 2 weeks, so I relate. Stay safe.
Nice! Dylan, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support once again, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. So, Wolfman asked me if I've ever played this game. Spartan Total Warrior, great game. No, probably the reason that I've never played this, or maybe I've never even heard of it, is because I didn't own a PlayStation 2, I didn't own a GameCube, and I didn't own an Xbox. I didn't own any of the consoles that this game was on. So no, I never played it. Came out in when? Oh, 2005. Okay. So interesting. Yeah, I didn't own any of these consoles, so I never got a chance to play. When I read your question, I thought you were talking about isn't there a Spartan, like a Total War? Yeah, Total War. I thought you were talking about like the RTS or strategy game, but nope, never played it, man. There are so many games on so many consoles that I never owned back in the day that I probably will never play because I never owned the console, right? It's a bummer, but it's the way it goes. And Elijah, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Just wanted to give some money before left. With that being said, goodbye, everyone. May the force be with you, and see y'all next time. Well, Elijah, thank you so much for supporting the channel this evening. I appreciate the hell out of that, and I appreciate the kind words, not only to myself, but to everyone in the chat. May the force be with you as well, Elijah. Thank you so much for the support this evening. See y'all next time. See you next time too, man. Have a good one. And Voice of Reason, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Would Ahsoka recognize old Anakin from 1983? Would she recognize Sebastian Shaw? I would think so. I mean, so let's think of this in terms of like just let's put it in the real world, right? Let's put it in the real world, and not really think of the fact that they're portrayed by different actors and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she obviously would, right? I mean, would you if you one of your friends was 30 and the next time you saw him he was like 60 something? Does that timeline match up? Maybe not. You would still recognize him, right? You would still recognize him. It might take you a second, but you would still recognize them. So yeah, I would say so. If you take out the outside universe perspective of there being different actors in the role, right? Of Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, she would recognize him. She would recognize him. Would she recognize Sebastian Shaw from Hayden Christensen? No, because they're two different people. But if we're thinking of this like internally in the films where they are the same person, yes, she would recognize him. Does that make sense? Probably not. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And I can't afford Doom Eternal, and I'm sad. Thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. Have you realized that Star Wars is about letting go? Have you realized that Star Wars is about letting go? It's about a lot of things, man. It's about letting go. Is it about letting go? In what way? Letting go and letting things happen? Letting go and accepting fate? Letting go of relationships? Letting go of people? Letting go and letting things happen? I don't know. Is it about letting go? Let go, Luke. Accepting situations? I guess you could say, I mean, you could find meaning, you could find what Star Wars is about. No matter, you could create your own definition of what it means and what it's all about, right? Maybe it's about fighting for what you think is right. Maybe it's for trying to annihilate and defend against oppression. Maybe it's about bringing down dictatorships. I don't know. Maybe it's about standing up for something. Maybe it's about going on these grand adventures that you were meant to go on. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Is it about letting go? I don't know. What do you guys think it's about? What is Star Wars all about? This is the way. There you go, Bill. But I appreciate that, man. And Bill Miner, once again, thank you so much for the channel support. Hey, Greedo, did you ever play the video game Star Wars Republic Commando? If so, what did you think of it? If not, then I recommend it to you, especially since you like Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, Bill, this is another case of... let me look up when this came out. Actually, I think I know exactly what happened. Oh, no. Okay, so... Let's see. Okay, so it... Republic Commando came out in 2005. And it looks like it originally launched... on the Xbox and Windows. So, I never played it when it first came out, Bill. I never did. The only time I've ever played Republic Commando is on a live stream maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. And I only played it for like an hour and I sucked so bad. I sucked so bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I was paying more attention to the chat than the game. I was getting my squad killed left and right. So, I'm basically going to say no, I've never played it, despite me playing maybe like an hour of it. In fact, let me launch Steam, and I'm curious how many hours I have in it, or how much time I have. But no. I remember seeing like the introduction where you're on Camino and you're kind of you see all the clones and you're there as a kid, and then you go through training, right? I can't really remember, but no, I think, Bill, I've been wanting to do more like streams where I stream older Star Wars games. The only older Star Wars games that I've ever streamed is like Dark Forces, and I've streamed Knights of the Old Republic a little bit. I streamed Shadows of the Empire so many times, and I want to stream Empire at War. I actually recently bought Star Wars X-Wing and TIE Fighter. I realized I didn't own them on Steam, so I got those. Yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and reinstall Republic Commando and play through that. That'd be a good one. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Wolfman, thank you so much for the channel support. Micro Series gives... Oh, wait. Oh, Grievous is the friggin' Terminator. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So Grievous is kind of just a killing machine. Interesting. Is he? I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm curious, Wolfman. Nobody has to answer this because I kind of want to be surprised, but I'm curious if he's kind of the same Grievous. I'm curious if he sounds the same because the animated series came out in 2003. Attack of the Clones came out in 2002. They must have been working on the animated series kind of around the same time as Attack of the Clones. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess he would be the same Grievous. I was thinking maybe he's a little different because of movie, like not overlapping directly with the movies. I don't know. Interesting. I don't know. He does not sound the same at all. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Okay, that's kind of what I was wondering. Perfect. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited to check out, find out how Grievous got his cough. Oh, okay. Oh, all the interesting information that you need to know from the Wikipedia page. How did Grievous get his cough? Very important. But I appreciate that, Wolfman. And Dylan Compton, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. Dylan says, Clone Wars began when I was 12. Briefly loved it, but grew out of it in high school and developed OT tunnel vision. Years later, I was hesitantly convinced to revisit it as an adult. Finished it in 2 weeks so I can relate. Stay safe. Well, thank you so much once again, Dylan, for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening, man. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, OT tunnel vision. I had that for years. And honestly, it took a wave of people, I'll say just kids growing up and having a voice on the internet to push me to watch something that I probably would have never watched, I probably never would have watched it. I'm eternally grateful for that. But yeah, it's, that's how it goes, man. Dylan, like, we ebb and flow. There's a lot of things that I was into in high school that, after high school, a lot of other shit going on, right? And then you kind of fall back in love with old games and shows and maybe franchises and movies that you once did. As you get older, you kind of revisit the things that you once liked. Music even, music. A lot of, that's probably one of the best examples, music. How many times you pop in or listen to a song that you grew up listening to in high school and you're like, oh man, oh hell yeah, let's download this entire album. But that's the way it goes. So, you finished the entire Clone Wars series in 2 weeks. It took me 2.5 years. But anyway, man, I greatly appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you so much for the generous channel support. You said you were 12 when the Clone Wars began. So, 2008. So, 2008 you were 12. In 2008 I was 21. Is that right? No. In 2008, I was 22. In 2008, I was 22, and I was at my first command. Just never watched the Clone Wars. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Anton, once again, thank you so much for the channel support. I love the way you talk about the generational difference between Star Wars fans. It's something I wish more people would realize. Yeah, it's true more now than ever. That's why I don't get into these dumb debates with people, because I sit back and I kind of recognize things as what it is, as what they are rather. Because I was a part of the wave of like prequel hate and stuff like that, and even in '99 when I went to like Titan Comics in Atlanta, Georgia. Hearing just a bunch of nerd chatter at the comic shop. I was 13 years old, and I will never forget just people bitching about the Phantom Menace. It just kind of like seared into my brain. And that wave was around for a very, very long time. It's only within the past 5 years or so that wave has kind of subdued and changed quite a bit. And that's the way it goes, man. So it's really interesting to me when I see, and I don't fault anybody for like shitting all over new Star Wars. I get it, man. I've been there. I get it. But it's interesting to me to see like diehard prequel fans shit all over the new Star Wars when the generation before them shit all over their Star Wars. Does that make, you know what I mean? It's interesting. Nothing wrong with it. That's just kind of the ebb and flow of generations. I get it. My music was better. My shows were better. We didn't wear these kind of pants when I was a kid. My Star Wars was better. I get it. We all fall in that trap. But it's important to kind of recognize the generational ebb and flow. Because it's just the way it is. Do-do-do. 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 Some things will never change. There we go. But I appreciate that, man. And Benjamin B, thank you so much for the channel support. Once again, man, how would Ahsoka and Kylo get along? Would they sympathize with each other's experiences with the Jedi? That's interesting. Oh, what's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Yeah, the welcome to the fleet. I think it's because it like re-upped you. I think. Maybe I could be wrong. But I think it's because it re-upped you. That happens all the time. I don't know why it does that, but like a certain point of the month, just a shitload of like welcome to the fleet things start popping up. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I am clicking a pin. I apologize. I'll put it down. Benjamin B. Yeah, I think Ahsoka and Kylo. Oh yeah, maybe there would be some parallels there. Maybe their masters have let them down. There definitely would be something to talk about between them, right? Yeah, I absolutely. There would be some common ground there for sure. I don't know if because Ahsoka's always been the moral compass, and I don't think organizations or labels would ever dictate what she thinks of someone. You know what I mean? Or it's all about actions and intent. And I think maybe she would see enough good in Kylo. Oh God, I don't even know. Maybe she's seen so much evil now that she just wants to extinguish evil. Where's her head at when they meet? I mean, they'll never meet, but I don't know. Yeah, I think they could sympathize and empathize with one another for sure if they sat down and have a conversation, for sure. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Ben. And I saw where was it? Where did that go? Soul Spartan asked me, is there anything you do when fandom really gets exhausting? I don't really, dude. So I think it's important to kind of always step back and not engage too much, like especially on something like Twitter, man, where you can't really communicate. People are always they have such a knee-jerk reaction to everything. It takes like the worst of people and amplifies it. Twitter and the way people communicate on there is dog shit. So I don't really go on there too often. Maybe I'll post once a day, but if I'm looking at my notifications, it's usually because it's 4:30 in the morning and I'm about to go on a run and I just glance at them. I don't really pay much attention to social media and especially Star Wars social media, because it is, or fandom social media. The only time that I ever talk to people and have like a fandom discussion is in these live streams, which are these live streams comparatively to social media and the Twitterverse. Aren't these so much more civil? Aren't they? This is the way I prefer to engage, because Twitter is just a bunch of people screaming at each other and being assholes. That's really about it, So just don't pay attention. It's not worth getting upset about. There's always going to be goofy sons of bitches who try to get under your skin. I don't care. That's. I feel like whenever people react to people, that's when like the wolves come out. I just don't give a shit, man. Like so many people say, what, so and so said something about you. I don't fucking care. I'm almost 34. I'm not in high school. I don't give a fuck what some random person on the internet said. I don't care. Oh well. I have a kid too. Like, there's only so much time of the day, and I'm not gonna worry about somebody else's opinion of my opinions. Oh well. But yeah. Anyway. Let's see. I Can't Afford Doom Eternal, Anton and Trooper. I Can't Afford Doom Eternal. Thank you so much, man. Letting go of negative emotions and helping others. Oh, letting go. Okay. That's a broad. I see what you're saying. Yeah, letting go of negative emotions and helping others. You could say maybe the Force falls under that, and maybe like a Jedi code or whatnot. Is it about letting go? I guess. But I think the definition of letting go in Star Wars being about letting go could have a lot of negative connotations too. Letting go of negative it's interesting, like the rigidity of the Jedi Order and the Jedi kind of the followings of the Jedi. Sure, you letting go of negative emotions, kind of blocking yourself off and just being like a shell, a robot, a non-emotional robot. You know what I mean? Like that, I find a lot of the doctrine, the dogma of the Jedi Order to be a little dismissible, in my opinion. And ultimately, that's why it failed, right? And ultimately, that's why it's kind of interesting. Like, I think fans even put the Jedi on this big pedestal when as Luke said in The Last Jedi, it's kind of interesting. The legacy of the Jedi is failure. It let this evil son of a bitch rise to power right under their nose. It's interesting. But anyway, I appreciate that, Doom. Yeah, I suppose it could be about letting go, among a myriad of other things. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Anton, once again, last super chat of the night. I would like to ask if you've seen the big update that came out for Fallen Order on May the 4th. Yes, I vaguely know about it. I don't really know what all went into it. I know there's a new arena or something. Is that what they're calling it? It's like an arena, and I guess you can spawn in enemies and stuff like that. I believe there's new combat challenges and new what are they called? Like wearables? What are they called? I can't remember the word that people use for it. So, yep, I'm familiar with it. I haven't checked it out yet. I would love to be able to stream it soon, but I'll probably stream it at some point next week. Maybe this week will be a hangout stream week, and then next week will be a video game, a video game stream week, I guess. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Anton, thank you so much. Oh, wait, I just did it. Trooper Bear FN 2525 Cosmetics, thank you. Trooper Bear says, Ahsoka is now legendary for going up against Maul and holding her own with Shoto Blade. Maul also taught her last lesson, learning to let go. Epic. Yeah, I liked how that entire... Yeah, she did go against Maul, but... my favorite interaction between them was at the end of... I think the final episode. Well... I think it was. Oh, man, I don't know what my favorite I'm trying to think back of some of their dialogue and discussion. I loved when she was letting him go as a distraction. That little interaction there, we see a side of Ahsoka that we haven't really seen before. She's trying to save her skin, and she's kind of letting this mouse out in this maze, and all the cats are going to come maul it, right? That's what Darth Maul is. He's the mouse in the maze. And she's letting him go and obviously he's just going to cut through everybody, right? But she just wants him to be a distraction. It's interesting. But yeah, Ahsoka is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. And if you would have told me that I'd be saying that 3 years ago, dude, I would have been like, what are you talking about? But again, it came from a place of ignorance. But yeah, man, she's one of my favorite characters because we have spent so much time with her in terms of seeing her as a scrappy kid, sky guy and all that stuff, and growing up to be a steadfast leader and strategist, and the overall moral compass of the show. But anyway, yeah, legendary there, Trooper. But I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And I can't afford Doom Eternal. Thank you so much. Does that mean TLJ criticizes Star Wars? Criticizes Star Wars? In what way? Well, I'll keep an eye on the chat. I don't think it criticizes Star Wars. I think it kind of shows the internal realities to characters, right? Luke kind of going on his rambling about the failure of the Jedi and how the Jedi don't own that power. And so criticizes Star Wars. Now, I don't see it that way. If it criticizes Star Wars, I don't know, man. It's the themes that run through that movie. I'm trying to think what would be criticizing of Star Wars as like a brand, or as a multi-picture giant narrative. Does it criticize Star Wars? No, I think it brings up kind of realities that maybe a lot of the characters were shying away from, or maybe that the audience knew but never had it shoved in their face, in terms of like a character that we know and love criticizing organizations, if that makes sense. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope we get more movies. I hope we get more movies like TLJ. I will never. That's one of my favorite Star Wars movie-going experiences. I will never forget the surprises in that movie. I mean, I can't think of any surprises that left me like utterly surprised and just like wow in The Rise of Skywalker. And as much as I like The Force Awakens, I can't think of any in that movie either. Really? I mean, we knew Han was gonna die, right? We all knew that. But The Last Jedi, just so many moments. I mean, I will never forget the feeling of at the end of A New Perspective. Well, I don't think that's criticism. New Perspective is good. I don't know. That's what I want in my Star Wars, right? Breathing new life into it, not mulching over the same shit. Bringing up new and interesting ideas. That's what keeps franchises fresh and on its toes. And I think it's important, but that's why it's in my 4th favorite Star Wars movie overall. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. This went 49 minutes longer than I anticipated. But yeah, that was fun, man. A lot of good conversations here. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to do a stream tomorrow night. I might end up playing a game. I recently, on May the 4th, I bought X-Wing and TIE Fighter. I realized I didn't have them on Steam. Games that came out in 93. And I'm kind of itching to fire those up and stream them. So hopefully they run good on a modern PC, and hopefully they're streamable. A lot of like older games that I try to stream either like lock up, or they're unable to be picked up by my streaming software, and there's always something. So hopefully, X-Wing or TIE Fighter will work. And if they work, I might end up playing them tomorrow night. We shall see. But all right, everybody. To everybody who sent over some super chat and channel love this evening, I greatly appreciate that. To everybody who just hung out in the chat, shot the shit, or didn't say a damn word and just listened to my dumb voice, I greatly appreciate that as well. So, to all the fleet members, to everybody in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with me for almost 2 hours tonight. This is a long stream. Always enjoyable. And maybe tomorrow night we'll play a little bit of video games, right? But, all right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!